All right, y'all, we back with another reaction right here on ABP Reactions, and this one is called The Fall of New York Drill. What happened? Where did it go? People are wondering, we are wondering, we want to know. Let's watch, let's find out right now.
It's undeniable that New York was the birthplace of hip-hop. And for a long time, it was the epicenter of that cultural world.
Shout out NYC.
In fact, it wasn't until the 90s rise of the West Coast that this dominance was even challenged. But as the West lost steam and the Dirty South rose, New York, once the heart of hip-hop, started to fade into the background. And as the culture's former hub struggled to regain its footing, everyone pointed fingers at everyone else, with Mano saying,
"You couldn't be mad at a ASAP Rocky for getting on and saying that he was influenced by Houston music."
And Joe Budden arguing,
"Me and 50 are the end of New York. My signing, the 50 signing, after that, it was the South."
Whoa, that is kind of true though when you think about it. As far as when New York was dominant, because 50 Cent, G-Unit, they was dominant. Joe Budden, I mean, that could be argued depending on how it was. But he really I only know like 2 records that really like struck hard on the West Coast. G-Unit was a real movement for the East Coast. Now, ASAP Rocky was probably the next, ASAP Mob was the next movement that came that impacted hard, but that was later. So, yeah. I would say G-Unit and ASAP Mob.
That was Walk It Out came out, and I'm blaming 50 and Ebro. I think both of them in combination killed it. Hey, you hear all the Atlanta say it now, they laugh at us. It's all that unity shit. In New York, though, nah, that wasn't the case back then. Ebro wasn't playing nobody in New York. ASAP Rocky has to feel like that. Know why? Ebro wasn't playing no ASAP Rocky. They was looking everywhere else but New York.
Sadly, those old vets would be stuck reminiscing about the good old days and trying
everywhere
to assess
but
what
New
went
York.
wrong. And while they were all waiting around to find a new star to be given the torch, a new sound ignited the East Coast and put the Empire State back on
young
the map.
niggas.
The music was New York drill, and for a long time, it seemed primed to take over the world. But as engaging as the music was, it came with a whole lot of baggage that threatened to derail it all at a moment's notice.
Pop Smoke, rest in peace.
The latest evolution in hip-hop's 50-year history in New York City, but it's often been linked to violence. And just yesterday, a popular drill rapper known as Chef G was one of 32 gang members charged in a string of violence that left 1 person dead and dozen others injured. But some are trying to change the perception of drill rap.
And unfortunately, the worst has happened. Because now, the momentum has all but withered away to nothing, due to a wide array of circumstances and tragic mishaps that either cut careers short.
A lot of niggas went to jail, a lot of niggas got killed, man. That's what come with drill music. We seen it in Chicago, now we seen it in New York. That drill movement is catchy, the youth embrace it, they love it, but a lot of lives get taken behind that. You know what I mean? Because they're going to these booths and rapping about murders or crimes that they committed against their ops, and the ops are getting the message and they're retaliating, and they're going in the booth after the retaliation and making a song, sending a message back. It's kind of crazy, man.
Or sadly, even people's time on Earth. And it wouldn't be the last time New York drill saw its brightest stars cut down before they could shine. Across the course of its history, this drill scene has been unfortunately defined by promising artists not being able to make the most of their hype through adverse circumstances. And unfortunately, this goes all the way back to the man who first brought the subgenre to commercial prominence.
This doesn't set New York back. We still created hip hop. We still have Sedgwick. We're in Bobby Shmurda. Bobby Shmurda be home soon.
Back in 2014, when Hot first dropped, Bobby Shmurda became a global phenomenon. The track earned him a major deal with Epic Records, and at the time, it looked like he had unlimited potential. But that momentum was cut short when a RICO case sent not only Bobby, but his entire GS9 crew to prison. Even then, he built goodwill after taking a plea deal that gave him more time behind bars, so Rowdy Rebel could come home earlier. When he finally came out the penitentiary, Bobby's street credibility made his streams skyrocket by more than 624%. Yeah.
I must admit, I'm one of the people who thought when Bobby Shmurda got out, he was going to be the face of New York. He was going to give out and get cracking. I also got to admit, I'm one of the people who now know that it was all hype, bro. I fell for the hype, and yeah, God, man, I don't get it. It was there. Everybody was rooting for him. I don't get it.
Instead of building on that hype, his comeback fell flat. Allegations, weak records, and underwhelming performances dragged his name down to the point where he couldn't even sell out small venues and had to cancel his entire tour. Now, with his career nearing wreckage, Bobby has turned to blaming everyone but himself.
We got a mini tour coming up. I'm be releasing soon. I want y'all to get ready for that. And I also want to apologize to all the blogs. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I shot somebody's sister when I was growing up. I don't know if I shot somebody's brother. I don't know if I robbed somebody when I was growing up. But this week, and the next week, I'm gonna be posting a lot of things that we're gonna be doing, and I do want some support from the blogs. Not that support that all the support that I'm getting from, like, you know, academics, No Jumper, Angelina Jolie, whatever the name is. You know what I'm saying? Because the point blank, yeah, they hating. But listen,
Angelina Jolie, even Angela Yee.
So listen. I just want this to say, I'm gonna be dropping a lot of music, right? And the point that don't support what I'm doing, but they support all the bullshit that going on, all the fake shit that doing. You know what I'm saying?
That's what moves the needle, Bobby. People love drama. That's what make people click. That's what make people engage. That's what make people listen. Now, if you got some highlights, it got to be some strong highlights to make people care, because people don't really care too much for that. Yeah, salute. But when it's drama, oh shit, that's fucked up. Ooh, they're gonna engage. They're gonna forward. They're gonna pass around. Hey, did you see this? That's just how the world works, man. That's how the world works.
Crazy.
Since then, the man who got famous for blatantly discussing real crimes is now turning against hip-hop culture and claiming it's damaging to society.
And when these kids are following you guys and you're rapping about these lifestyles, it's in danger. It's very detrimental. You know what I'm saying? It's very dangerous to the communities that these little kids think that is going on, that you did not even live. I think rap's supposed to be telling motherfuckers to go from negative to positive, coming from poverty to going to riches.
Oh yeah, my boy from turn to a pastor.
And how to change. That's the shit I want to hear. I want to hear about living life. That's why I don't listen to rap. For real, I don't.
He better be a pastor,
Although
y'all.
hip-hop is supposed to provide that aspirational rags to riches story, there are way too many modern examples where this isn't something that can be sustained. And while Bobby at least still has the outside chance of redeeming himself, the legacies of others are now in the hands of their estates after they were tragically killed before their time. Here, we have none other than the late great Pop Smoke. For a brief moment, Pop Smoke looked like the man who could carry Brooklyn drill to the top.
Pop Smoke was about to be huge, bro. Oh man, that momentum. I haven't seen nothing come out of New York like that in a long time, and so fast and so soon. He was finna be a big deal.
With his gruff, unmistakable voice and natural superstar swagger, the Meet the Woo mixtapes made it clear he had something special. Tracks like Dior and Welcome to the Party were ringing out worldwide when tragedy struck. Just a week after Meet the Woo 2 peaked at number 7 on the charts, Pop Smoke was killed in a Hollywood Hills Airbnb during a botched robbery. Overnight, New York drill lost its brightest star, and without him, the scene scrambled for a replacement, leading to imitators like Dusty Locane, whose career became defined by constant comparisons to Pop.
Long live Pop Smoke, greatest to do it. You know that. You entitled to your opinion. You don't know me. It's just if you believe that, stick to that. Don't switch when you see now. I'm up. You feel me? I'm living better. I'm doing better. If you believe that at some point in time I'm trying to be somebody or whatever the case may be.
Shout out Dusty Locane. I believe he said he was Pop Smoke's cousin at the time when everybody was giving him like pushback, like, oh, you trying to sound like him? Like, that's my cousin. But you know, shout out to him, bro. You know, he definitely had a song that went viral as hell. Shout out to him.
Elementary mostly. He left around 5th grade, 66, anybody who know. Yeah. But yeah, we used to do like growing up, me, Mikey, Stag, Ace, all of us, you feel me, went to that same school. So it's like, that's why Pop got lit. I didn't try to, I grew up with him, I know him. Cause I feel like you gotta give people, this his shine, it's his time. Feel me? I feel like that's an attachment. People feel like I gotta get attached cause I knew him. Yeah. You know, that's not really, that wasn't really my bop.
But any hope of occupying the same spot was almost immediately ruled out when Pop's grieving brother, Obasi Jackson, came at him for what he viewed as a blatant attempt to hop on the wave.
Pop died. Niggas took Pop from us too soon. So niggas is trying to figure out who the next Pop. But little do niggas know, there is no next Pop. There is nobody could sound like him. Y'all could take word for word, but there's a vibe, there's a blessing that came with Pop Smoke that niggas do not have, you feel me? I ain't trying to tell niggas don't eat, you feel me? That ain't my mission right now. My mission is saying, yo, if you are one of those people that sound like Pop, find your own style. Because it will come to a point where it will have to end. Don't you understand? And my thing is just that, yo, bro, I'm not sitting here trying to hear knockoffs. You feel me? Like, we want to hear the real deals. But if you're trying to copy Pop Smoke, there's no benefit to that.
And initially,
oh, it's somebody that popped that sounded just like him. A little bit like him. Not complete voice, but took the style and ran it up. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Drop the name in the comment section. They probably finna talk about it right now. Guarantee it.
It seemed like the man to fill the hole left by Pop was Pop himself. Courtesy of the shady businesses of posthumously released records, he would secure a #1 album with Shoot for the Stars, Aim for the Moon. Initially, this project was met with a lot of enthusiasm and felt like a fitting encapsulation of everything the young artist was about, particularly because it was put together by people who truly cared, such as 50 Cent.
The parties involved that aren't necessarily doing it for the same reasons I'm doing it, meaning they're invested in financial.
No, you ain't taking no bread from this. Yeah.
I don't care. I'm doing it only based on the culture and what I would in my relationship with Pop Smoke. That's it. You see what I'm saying? So if you go, I wouldn't be working with these people. You see what I'm saying? So I don't have to develop the relationship to do something that I would like to do for Pop Smoke. As soon as I know that the record is positioning itself as #1, I feel like I did enough.
But while Pop's first posthumous album was praised, the follow-up Faith was almost universally panned, seen as a corporate cash-in. Pop's manager Steven Victor caught backlash, and even Pusha T was denounced for promoting his own album on what was supposed to be Pop's project. Rowdy Rebel, calling out the label directly, wrote, "Shaking my head, I don't understand why my boy is not on this track. You know these industry dudes is straight suckers."
Yeah, boy, that's one fun fact. Them industry motherfuckers don't give a fuck. Blood suckers at that. Don't just say suckers. Blood suckers. They only want the fame. They only want the clout they could get out you. And if you don't got it, they gonna spit you out. Well, now, what can you do for us to make us some money, boy? Tap dance, nigga. Tap dance.
Pop's close friend and producer Mike D was also blindsided, admitting, "I had no involvement in my dog's album. Didn't even know an album was dropping until it got broadcasted on the
That's
internet.
crazy.
With no more unreleased music left in the vault, Pop's catalog ended on a sour note. And today, his name is more likely to appear in controversy, like when Adam 22 gave a platform to Pop's killers. One of them, Blockstar, even explained why the trigger was pulled, saying it was simply because things were getting out of hand.
No one was intended to get hurt that night. Nobody's intended to get hurt. I know we was just kids being kids from the hood, and too much movement from everybody in the house. Too much shit going on. It was too much shit going on. So it's like it wasn't intentionally.
As for his recently granted release, Blockstar had no argument when it came to questions of whether he should still be inside.
They right, I did get off too lightly.
Yeah, California be like that now.
But yeah, that's how it is, California. Well, I mean, I can't say what I wish happened to me, but honestly, I wish on nobody.
But perhaps most shockingly of all, he also refused to say sorry
That's
for what
crazy.
happened. Now elevated to legend status, the sad thing when it comes to Pop is that if he was still around, then New York drill might be in far better health than it currently is. Cause
New York would be in far better health. Now, you know what I'm saying? Shout out Cardi B, she holding down, but this nigga Pop Smoke was finna bring that 50 Cent for this generation. He was finna bring that energy, that type of momentum. The young street nigga that's got because he was young. He was young as a motherfucker. Young street nigga that got everybody going crazy. You know what I mean? Authentic. Like, that element was going, he was finna bring it.
while some of the modern stars possess elements of what he had, they can't seem to be able to join up the dots. And a prime example of that comes in the form of a man who was actively co-signed by Pop.
He's about to pull up 5-Yo.
Oh, yeah. That record's crazy.
Foreign.
Yeah, 5-Yo Foreign.
Remember I told y'all.
Okay.
5-Yo.
I seen he just got the deal, too.
He not with us. He not with them.
Right. But he would
label them, but he with us.
Fact.
Yeah. You understand?
Fact.
It's like hard.
5-Yo pushed forward, and in the wake of Pop's passing, many saw him as the next man to carry New York drill. His biggest moment came with Kanye West. His feature on Off the Grid led to another album on his debut album, Bible. That project opened at number 9 with 29,000 units. Respectable, but nowhere near the momentum Pop once had. Since then, Fabio hasn't charted, and his 2023 EP Without Warning landed with barely a ripple. Instead, he's becoming an easy target for trolling. Whether it was beefing with Plaqueboy Max alongside Lil TJ, or getting a Timberland boot tattoo that felt less like a proud nod to New York street culture and more like pure cringe. This dude gets older and dumber every year.
Oh my God.
The public's growing disrespect is only part of the story. Like many of his peers, Fabio also ran into serious legal trouble. On New Year's Day in New Jersey, he allegedly threatened a woman with a gun during a parking dispute. He was hit with multiple charges, including weapons possession, aggravated assault, and terroristic threats.
Now, if you want to find out his real age, there you go. He went to jail, so you can just pull up his shit. It's public knowledge, and you can find his name, and it's going to have his date of birth on there, and you can find his real age. He can't lie on there.
In the end, a guilty plea to third-degree terroristic threats cut his time down to 196 days served, sparing him a long sentence. Since then, Fabio has kept working, but it hasn't really added up to much. And while he still has his freedom, plenty of other New York drill stars never even got the chance to see how far their careers could go.
Last thing I seen Fabio for, and when he recently just got out of jail for this thing they're talking about, he said he wants to be a podcaster or a live streamer. He wasn't even talking about he want to be a rapper no more. So I don't know. Let's see. Let's see if he talks about that.
Because instead of studios, they're stuck in cells. One of the brightest examples is K-Flock. Among the many drill prospects now behind bars, none had more momentum than
K-Flock had the streets.
Allegedly tied to the 700 devs, the YGs, and his own crew, the OGs, K spent much of his youth in and out of juvenile detention, and it was there where he first started rapping. Pushed by his friend and mentor B-Love, K began dropping tracks that quickly caught fire. Songs like Opspada and PSA pulled in tens of millions of streams, and with a Lil TJ cosign, his buzz exploded. By late 2021, Capitol Records had signed him to a deal rumored to be around $3 million.
Momentum, man.
But just 1 month after releasing the acclaimed DOA tape, his career came to a halt. K was arrested in connection with the killing of a 24-year-old by the name of Oscar Hernandez, a case that's remained murky ever since. Early reports claim K walked into a barbershop, antagonized Hernandez, and sparked a shootout. But K has always said it was self-defense. After he turned himself in, surveillance footage surfaced showing Hernandez actually following K outside, evidence his legal team says supports the claim he acted to protect himself.
Yes, sir. It gets murky. It gets murky.
And no matter how much time passed, his lawyer has never wavered in the argument either.
Apparently about each other.
Okay. So without saying too much, you're arguing obviously self-defense. That's the crux.
You know, that could be one of the arguments, self-defense. And I would say to the public, you know, somebody's walking up to you with a loaded, it's pretty clear is going to use it, with a criminal record a mile long. Do you want to get or do you not want to?
Oh, absolutely. I wouldn't hesitate.
For a long time, the future looked grim for him, with academics claiming in February 2023 that the feds just unsealed an indictment on K-Flock for a RICO charge and murder. The mandatory minimum if he doesn't beat those charges or snitch is life in prison.
Damn.
He is still facing state charges of murder that have him locked up. Now facing a long list of charges, K-Flock's trial began in May, and the fate of his co-defendants offered a grim preview of what could come his way. Most of those alongside him took plea deals to avoid life sentences or worse. Zay Muna and Nick B were handed 15 and 12 years, while Eroy received 138 months.
Yeah, this is bad.
Over 11 years for pleading guilty to attempted murder and racketeering. Even with all that, K has stayed optimistic, insisting that he'll be free soon.
Hey yo, like, I'll be back real soon. Shout out to my fans and my supporters, man. I love all y'all, man. For all of you out there, violence, man. For me, and do what y'all supposed to do, man. For me, get through life correctly, bro. Like.
Rather than being silent, Flock has remained active online from behind bars. Recently, he blew the whistle on the Essex County Correctional Facility where he's being held. claiming that they are currently giving out molded food, which was causing inmates to throw up blood and feel weak. Then he
Damn.
discussed his predicament, declaring that the feds hit me with a RICO and labeled me a chief. But despite his protests and all the debate around the case, K-Flock was found guilty and is now looking at up to 20 years in the pen. With
Damn, man. Another one gone, man. Another one gone. It's like right when that momentum come for New York artists, something gotta happen to snatch them up out of it, man. It's like a curse. Damn near like a curse, bruh.
that, another budding career was extinguished before I got the chance to get off the ground. But sometimes, an artist has already made tracks towards genuine stardom, only for their long-standing ties to the streets to come back and ruin it all. Sadly, this is where the story of Casanova lies, a famed MC who was once a Celeste of ASAP.
Free Casanova, man. Free Casanova, man. That was a good dude right there. Free Casanova.
Rocky, Cass, who'd become synonymous with the untouchable gorilla Stone Nation Bloods, didn't actually join a gang till he was serving time in a juvenile detention center.
I turned blood in jail. You know what I'm saying? Because I started fighting them so much that they was like, man, you down, man. Come on. All right, we hear you. You ain't even Crip, you blood. And again, you fight for your cookies. There was little stuff like that. That was the trials and tribulations, like the getting punched in the face at a young age. Like, oh my gosh. Like, you like...
Even with moving out of the country, Casanova built momentum and eventually signed with Jay-Z's Rock Nation, determined to prove someone like him could make it. I'm not a GOAT, but I'm Hope. He told
Casanova wasn't just an artist too. He was also viral. Like the internet world took a sensation to like posting his clips and making clips out of shit he did, shit he say. And he was a street nigga, solid street nigga that stood on principles, be out here, you know, not saying bullying shit, but he was standing on business. So let's just say that.
Volt in 2019. I'm a prime example of you could do it. A lot of rappers are silver spooned, or they're not who they say they are. They really didn't go through the mud. I'm proof that you can be incarcerated, come home, and change your life around. By then, he knew the streets weren't where he belonged anymore, and he needed to realign his priorities if he wanted the success he'd been chasing.
If the people that signed me don't want me in their establishment, being tough ain't cool.
Right.
They don't want that. You know what I'm saying? And you know, other labels might allow their artists to wild out and troll and do whatever they gotta do to get the artist lit. But Rock Nation ain't with that. They like, I'm happy I'm there because they kinda like babysitting me. You know what I'm saying? So I just, at the end of the day, I don't wanna be tough.
Hey, correct me if I'm wrong. Who was signed to Memphis Bleak underneath Rock Nation or signed to Memphis Bleak? Who was signed? Was it Casanova? No. Who was signed to Memphis Bleak? It was a New York artist signed to Memphis Bleak. Was it Fabio? No, he was signed to Mace. Who was it, y'all?
I don't want that. I don't want that stigma because you can't get no money.
But as his star grew, it appears he didn't fully let go of his gang ties as he was indicted in 2020 alongside members of the notorious untouchable gorilla Stone Nation. In the RICO case, members of the crew were accused of everything from firearm possession to conspiracy to distribute narcotics. From the outset, Cass declared that he was innocent and that it was his status as a high-profile figure in hip-hop that led to these charges being unjustly leveled against him.
As you already know, I'm fighting serious charges right now. But I'm innocent, that's one. Two, I've been fighting my whole life, so I'll get through this. But just understand how they can get you jammed up. You don't know nobody, you ain't got nothing to do with nothing, and they still get you jammed up. Rappers, we are a target. Just be careful out there, watch who you associate with, watch who people bring you around. And I'll see y'all soon, God willing.
But after initially going
Rappers,
on the
we
run,
are a target.
Cass was subject to a nationwide manhunt. Then, in December of that year, he turned himself in. His wife, Swaggy Jazzy, actually documented his surrender on IG, with Cass promising that he would be home sooner than she thought. Once behind bars, Cass's lawyers put together a $2.5 million bond package, even offering 5 properties as collateral. But the judge denied it, citing him as a flight risk after his earlier attempt to outrun the law. Prosecutors then built their RICO case with everything from IG posts showing guns and marijuana to wiretap conversations with
See what I'm saying, man? See? This is why you gotta stop doing this, man. Y'all niggas be posting shit on Instagram, on y'all story. Y'all niggas be fucking music videos, nigga going on these podcasts talking crazy. They keep record of all that shit. Especially if you go down for some criminal gangbang shit. They're going to use that and it's going to sell it to a jury for sure. Look, he has these guns. Look, he brags about killings. He brags about shooting. He brags about this. He brags about this, about his ops. Like, you put that target on your... You're already a rapper, so a target is on your back, especially when you're a gangster rapper, street rapper. But don't give them what they need to take you down. But, you know, I guess that's what comes with the territory, everybody believes, right?
His gang leader. In the end, they had more than enough to throw the book at him. And the wild part is, Cass had openly talked about how situations like this usually play out.
You go to the feds for a fucking RICO, and they offer you 20 years and you're a millionaire. You're telling.
Facing a possible life sentence, Cass was thrown into solitary for 4 months, isolated into a windowless cell to pressure him into cooperating. Eventually, he took a plea deal. While there's no evidence he snitched, Cass admitted to moving between 100 to 400 kilos of marijuana and playing a role in a 2020 Florida shooting, among other crimes.
Ooh, oh, he admitted to that? I didn't know that. We just learned something new. I didn't know he admitted.
In a last attempt at leniency, he wrote to the judge, claiming he only leaned on gang ties to gain prominence in hip-hop, but it wasn't enough. He was handed 15 years, and turning his back on the crew would soon come back to haunt him.
Damn.
Not long after entering prison, Casanova was stabbed.
These internal reports from correction officers say Senior was slashed with a weapon by another inmate, Ulysses.
Nah, Cass, you folded? I did not know you went in there and folded, bro. Come on, bro. Nah, I just said you be staying on business, bro. Come on, man. Damn.
And then chased him down with the help of others. We spoke with one officer who responded to the scene.
Inmate Lugo, you couldn't see his face because he was saturated in blood. You couldn't see it at the time because his whole face was saturated in blood and his whole uniform was saturated in blood. Inmate Senior was sitting there and blood was just coming out of his face.
The stabbing came after Cass publicly declared he was no longer repping the gang. In retaliation, inmate Ulysses Lugo slashed his face before Cass and others fought back, leaving Lugo needing stitches. Afterward, Cass tried once more to gain release from prison, but his requests were denied. Despite all of his potential, his story shows how past ties can block the path to...
Damn, I didn't know this. This is disappointing. See, everybody, y'all be pushing that message to the youth to look and to be and to act one way, and then y'all get in them situations, and look what happened, man. Golly, that's crazy.
A new life. But not every drill rapper's fate has been the same. Some have managed to dodge their charges and keep pushing forward. One of those is Sleepy Hollow. Alongside Chef G, he's been a staple of New York drill for years, dropping hyped tracks and even helping spark Doechie's anxiety after sampling her Swamp Sessions version long before the official release.
Sleepy, you kind of had another viral moment recently. Anxiety got a whole new set of legs.
Yeah, that was crazy.
How did you find that sample in the first place?
I was scrolling. I seen her freestyle it first, and I'm just like, yo, and then my man sent it to me. And I was like, bro, I was just listening to this, listen to the whole freestyle. I'm like, yo, this shit so fire. So I took her hook part, the anxiety part. I already had a song called Anxiety before, because that's like, I just loved speaking about that topic. That's how that came out. Sent it to John. He did the beat. We just went crazy.
Now,
yeah, shout out to Doechie too. Thanks, sir.
Type, does it trip you out seeing how even she's blown up, and now that song, as of the recording of this interview, that original sample just charted number 10.
Yeah, she did that. So I feel like it just be about the shit that people don't talk about. And anxiety is one of them things. So when somebody do speak about it, it's like fire, because mad people go through it. Yeah, shout out to her.
And while his album sales haven't amounted to blockbuster numbers, he's consistently fared quite well in that arena. Or at least he did until 2024's Read This When You Wake Up, basically vanishing without a trace. Sleepy's latest project may not have produced a hit on the level of Two Sauce or Murder, She Wrote, but at least he isn't locked up. In 2023, he and longtime collaborator Chef G were swept up in a massive RICO case targeting gangs in Flatbush and Crown Heights. They were among 32 people named in a 140-count indictment that tied the group to...
God damn. See, this is what come with drill, y'all. This is what come with drill. This is what I was talking about, man. It comes with that lifestyle, you know, your oppositions. And when you put that many people, 30 people, 40 people, 50 people, and you grab them up, a lot of them niggas gonna talk. They gonna point fingers. They gonna say, you was the one that did it. You were the one that said, go do this. You the one that said we should do this. Yeah. And that's what makes it nasty, man. You like, You know what's gonna come with that when a Rico come or when a sweep come. Like,
of shootings, and even a murder caught on camera. Sleepy was charged with conspiracy to commit murder and gun possession, but avoided jail after posting a hefty bail. Since then, he's kept dropping heat alongside Chef G, and above all, he remains as uncompromising as ever, with his unresolved case still hanging over his head. But where he's still able to forge ahead, his rhyming partner hasn't been so lucky. Although initially released on a huge cash bail, Chef G wound up pleading guilty to attempted murder, but ultimately received a little leniency because there was little evidence linking him to that specific crime.
Counts of second-degree attempted murder and second-degree and fourth-degree conspiracy. The DA had asked for 20 years, but Brooklyn Supreme Court Justice Danny Chun gave Williams 5 years behind bars plus 5 years post-release supervision, explaining, quote, I take into account consideration that you are not alleged with shooting anybody, not alleged to actually being the person who shot at or did commit the shooting, and that is very important in my opinion. Chef says he first joined a gang at the age of 12 and understands people might find that shocking, but in certain neighborhoods like his, you were assumed to be gang affiliated because of what street you grew up on.
Now facing a 5-year bid, the trapper has been very candid about both his music career and upcoming sentencing in recent interviews.
It's always going to be tough, you know what I'm saying? That's something very hard to prepare for, but it's like you build and you build and you put the right things in place and the right people in place, and you just hope for the best.
Now on the brink of spending years behind bars, Chef recently saluted his girl as the time turning himself in gets closer. With Chef G and Casanova behind bars, many of drill's early innovators have been forced out of the spotlight. Others tried to
They really taking all the New York artists down, bro. This is really crazy outside looking in, like, damn.
But for rappers like C Blue, the same traps of the streets came back to haunt them. Born Cameron Williams in the Bronx, C Blue wasn't always chasing rap. In high school, he played sports and even dreamed of being a biochemist. Music, he later admitted, was more about securing the bag than being a lifelong career. But after catching a gun charge at 14, he leaned harder into hip-hop. His breakout hit Ozone put him on the map, leading to collabs with K-Flocked and 26AR, and eventually a major deal with Interscope. That advance money would prove useful sooner than expected. One night, outside a Bronx bodega, cops confronted him. When he refused to take his hands out of his pockets, a scuffle broke out. Then, a gun went off, leading both C Blue and Officer Kasim Pennant shot in the leg. Blue was immediately arrested on assault and weapons charges. Afterwards, he told fans in a statement, "Believe nothing you read and half of what you see. My day ones know what it is. My label and loyal fans are standing by me through this." Although police accounts spread quickly in the media, C Blue would later explain what he says really happened that night.
The real story is I was shot by the police. You feel me? A lot of people troll, say I shot myself. No, it's not what happened. The police shot me. Dad, I was walking to my vehicle, you know, regular going in my car. I was approached, I stopped. I asked the officer, like, you know, what's the issue? Why do you want to talk to me? Why am I being stopped? He didn't answer my questions. He
don't sound like a gangster at all. He don't sound like a gangster at all.
Proceeded to put his hands on my body, and he ended up firing a weapon that ended up hitting me. I personally don't know. Like, he went to grab and a shot got fired. I got hit in my leg and his partner got grazed.
Yeah, he shouldn't be doing no gangster shit, man. He sound like somebody that could be, you know what I mean? You sound like somebody that has an education, brother. Somebody that, not saying that gangsters don't have education, but y'all get what I'm saying. He sounds a little preppy. You know what I mean? He should be in one of these offices being a boss. Come on, brother. You chose the wrong department, man.
C Blue's team argued he was targeted because he was a drill rapper. After the incident, he was released on $250,000 bail, money reportedly coming from his Interscope advance. That move outraged critics who wanted to see him behind bars. NYPD Police Benevolent Association President Patrick Lynch declared, "The people of the Bronx won't be safe as long as he's on the bench." The individual chose to carry illegal guns twice. He chose to fight with and shoot a New York City police officer. There's no reason to believe he won't do the exact same thing when he's out on the street tonight. Though tried as an adult at first, the case shifted from Bronx Supreme Court to family court before eventually being dropped. Despite widespread belief that he had a gun, the judge ruled that the arresting officer's testimony was useless. It was inconsistent with the video. It was inconsistent with his fellow officer's testimony. It was self-serving. It had no value. Police unions blasted the decision,
That's
with
crazy.
Lynch calling it an absurd outcome that should outrage every New Yorker who wants to get illegal guns off our streets. Yet despite everything, Blue has remained surprisingly calm, saying he doesn't hold bitterness towards the cops.
I don't have nothing against the police. You know, I appreciate the things they do that are good, but I feel that they definitely do target drill artists a little bit more than the average guy because of the things we say in our music. But not everyone who says something lives by those codes. And
damn, see, he just said it. Niggas is doing this shit to chase the hype. Not everybody live by this shit. The shit that y'all selling to the youth, the message that y'all selling to the people. Go out here, shoot nigga in the face. I do this if I do this, and that makes everybody like, shit, I want to be like him. I'm gonna do like he said, shoot a nigga in the face. And then kind of find out I ain't even your MO. Hey, I'm just selling records, man. I'm just selling records.
Walks around doing those things. But because so like music is art. So everyone is saying these things to reach a different audience.
It's that blurring the line between rap and reality rarely ends well. For
Yeah,
New York drill,
that's
it
facts.
remains a dangerous cycle, one that too often leads to either a jail cell or a gravestone.
Man, that's a fact. Well, there you have it, man. What happened in New York drill? We all just found out together. This was dope. Shout out to the creator on this one. New York, man, I'm rooting for y'all, me personally. I'm from the West Coast, you know what I'm saying? But I do want to see one of y'all stars breed a star from out of there, man. Cardi B is holding it down right now, but ASAP, they come out here and there, do their thing. Shout out ASAP Rocky. He got the baddest in the game, the baby mama locked in, secured. So shout out to him. I just watched his Highest to Lowest movie. Y'all go check that out too with Denzel Washington, shot by Spike Lee. That's a dope movie. But yeah, man, let me know what y'all think in the comment section, man. Was it too good to be true for New York to take the drill from Chicago and pop off and breed hella stars? Or was that like signing a death certificate when they took on that approach? And they should have saw what happened from Chicago and should have knew that wasn't the route to take. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section. And I'm gonna give y'all 2 seconds to smash the like. And as always, get ready for the next reaction.